Welcome back to the program. The Brown University shooting and the fact that it is still not solved, even though that campus has more cameras than most campuses. And of course, they have surveillance all around the streets and everywhere else. I mean, let's face it, it's Rhode Island, it's a blue state. They're big on surveillance, right? And surveilling their people. The fact that it is not solved and they don't have anyone even, remotely close to who they're looking at is a result directly of DEI, woke agendas, and of course, Democrats running a city and running it into the ground. Okay? Now, I'm going to get more involved on the chief of police for the campus. We're going to get to him here in a little bit. But just from a basic observation, you have the attorney general who is clueless, okay, has no clue. You have the actual chief of police for Providence who looks like he could be moonlighting on a part-time job as a line cook in a Mexican restaurant. Can barely understand him, number one. Number two, he obviously does not know what he's doing, doesn't have the qualifications. And then, of course, you have the mayor of Providence who's more, in tune with going out and getting pizza and pizza slices than solving this crime. You have so many of these morons, including, by the way, the president of Brown University, who is as dumb as a pail of hammers, and said she has no idea what goes on her campus. She literally admitted that in an interview, and has no idea what the classes were about and where the classes were. She had no clue, which goes to show you it's garbage in, garbage out. This is what happens in academia. You have someone who's a provost, a president of a school, maybe a department head of whatever, and they run into a scandal and they get fired or they resign, and guess what? They go to another college somewhere else, and because they're woke and because they're a minority most of the time, they get hired, even though they're not qualified and they have baggage. That happens all the time, sadly, okay? So this is another example of that. Now, why am I beating down more on the security measures? Well, it's pretty simple. Because Brown University and the police union, and not just the police union, but we're going to get to that in a second, but the chief of campus police, why are there so many damn pop-ups on this thing? Hang on one second here. No, thank you. Okay. So the police chief was forced out of his job at the University of Utah because of another issue and problem with, you guessed it, someone being murdered on campus. And so what does he do? Well, he goes and he leaves and he goes to Brown University, where he's black and he's a minority and they don't care what happened, and boom, they hire the guy. And now he's running Brown University's campus security. And look what happened. Yet another murder under his watch. Okay? After facing allegations on his own qualifications, University of Utah Police Chief Rodney Chapman is moving to a new university across the country. Chapman, recently cleared of wrongdoing following a criminal investigation, has been appointed Brown University's Vice President for Campus Safety in Providence, Rhode Island. According to Brown University, Chapman will assume his starting role September 1st of 2021. Chapman was previously accused of not being a certified police officer at the time of his hiring by the University of Utah. A letter from District Attorney's Office states that the University of Utah knew Chapman was not certified as a law enforcement officer at the time of his hiring, but directed him to, quote, not exercise police authority until he could get certified as a law enforcement officer in Utah. Chapman joined the university's police department in the wake of Lauren McCluskey's on-campus murder and the subsequent criticism of how police handled the initial investigation. Gee, just like with going on Brown. When Chapman was hired in January of 2021, he specifically asked for an investigation into the department's handling of the Lauren McCluskey case, and when results were published, he pledged disciplinary action and possible termination of at least 3 members of the force. In 2019, the McCluskey family filed 2 lawsuits against the University of Utah and their handling of the death of their daughter. The University of Utah has not yet commented on Chapman's new role. Now, let's bring it back now to Brown, okay? And here we are at Brown University. So now he ends up being forced to resign from the University of Utah, and now he goes to Brown University, where they hire him because of DEI and woke policies. And now the Brown University Police Union is saying that it's a toxic work environment and culture, and is calling for an independent investigation into Chapman, the new police chief. Union members who are employed with Brown University's police department passed a vote of no confidence in their agency's chief and deputy chief, alleging a toxic work culture and environment and lack of skills. The police union has raised serious allegations against the leadership of its campus police department, accusing it of fostering a workplace environment and culture that is pervasive and an atmosphere of fear. The union, representing 10 campus police sergeants, has expressed deep concerns regarding the management practices of Police Chief Rodney Chapman, this is the guy, and Deputy Chief John Vincent, culminating in a vote of no confidence in their leadership. In August, the International Brotherhood of Police Officers, Local 863, representing the sergeants, formally issued a vote of no confidence in Chief Chapman and Deputy Chief Vincent. The union has cited a lack of transparency, education, and a culture of fear as major issues within this department. John Rossi, a national union representative, has been mediating between the union and Brown University administrators. He notes that union members are hesitant to speak publicly due to the fear of job-related retaliations from Chapman. The climate of fear has been compounded by multiple federal unfair law practices and charges filed over alleged wrongful terminations and coerced resignations. A significant point of contention involves orders from Chapman establishing a traffic ticket quota, which is prohibited by Rhode Island law. Steve Brown, executive director of the ACLU of Rhode Island, says it often forces officers to create violations. It's a very dangerous method of policing. So you have a chief of police of security on campus at Brown University who was asked to resign by the University of Utah because he didn't have any qualifications and wasn't an actual real police officer. Now he's the head of Brown University's campus police, and he's forcing the agents that work underneath him to issue tickets, traffic tickets, to meet quotas. So it's not just DEI quotas. Apparently, it's traffic ticket quotas as well. The union also highlights issues such as restricted paid time off for officers involved in field training and the resulting fatigue and burnout due to high turnover rates. According to Brown Executive Vice President Sarah Latham, the department currently experiences the highest turnover rate within the university. The union's concerns extend to allegations of the work environment and retaliation. So it's repeating itself. Additionally, an investigation by the Brown Daily Herald uncovered the use of sexist, misogynistic, and homophobic rhetoric within the department, with male employees reportedly making derogatory remarks about female colleagues and questioning the masculinity of one of their gay officers. Brown University initiated an investigation into the department's workplace last April, facing several charges in leadership of the probe. Initially, Deputy Chief Vincent was involved in the investigation despite past leadership critiques during his tenure at the University of Washington, where he was described as coercive and micromanaging. The university has since appointed Critical Arc, a security software company, to lead the investigation. However, concerns have arisen regarding potential conflicts of interest due to connections between Chapman and Critical Arc. Reports that the union is calling for the Rhode Island State Police to conduct an independent, transparent investigation. So apparently he has some type of conflict of interest with the organization that is supposedly involved in investigating what's going on under his watch at Brown University. And you wonder why these Keystone cops can't get anything straight, okay? They couldn't solve a crossword puzzle, let alone a murder. Why? Well, I just explained it to you. Because they're DEI hires, they're minorities that don't have any qualifications, and we see this over and over and over again. Just look at California and the wildfires. All DEI, no one had any experience in anything they were doing. Look at Hawaii, same thing. DEI, no experience. So, to anyone out there, if you live in a blue state and there's a serious emergency, don't count on the people helping you. Make sure that you can help yourself. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.